Good evening, everyone. There's a misconception that love is always loud, always obvious. That when a man is deeply in love, he will make grand speeches, write poetry, and proclaim his feelings from the rooftops. But the truth is, men express love in far more subtle ways, ways that are often overlooked. A man who is truly in love reveals it not just through his actions, but in the words he chooses. These words are rarely dramatic, rarely rehearsed, but they carry a weight that should not be ignored. The first word is we. This might seem insignificant at first, but it is one of the most powerful shifts in language. When a man transitions from saying I to we, it means he is no longer thinking only of himself. It signals that he sees you as part of his future, as someone he is dating with, rather than just someone he is dating. Love is not just about affection, it is about unity, and the word we is a reflection of that unity. Love is often misunderstood, especially when it comes to men. Many people assume that love is about grand declarations, poetic words, or dramatic gestures. But the truth is, men express love differently. Their language is not always verbal. It is action-oriented, built on consistency, responsibility, and quiet commitment. A man's love is rarely about what he says. It is about what he does. When a man is deeply in love, he does not just say, I love you. He shows it. He makes sure you are safe, that your needs are met, that you feel supported, even in the smallest way. His presence is steady, his actions reliable. He remembers the little things that matter to you, not because he has to, but because he wants to. He stands by you when life gets difficult, not just when things are easy. Love, for him, is not just a feeling, it is a responsibility. A man in love does not need constant reassurance because his love is demonstrated through action. He listens when you speak, not just waiting for his turn to talk, but genuinely absorbing your words. He respects your boundaries, values your dreams, and makes an effort to be part of your world. His commitment is not just about big moments, it is about the everyday things, checking in, showing up, being there, without being asked. When men care, they protect. This does not always mean physical protection. Sometimes it is emotional. It is about making sure you feel secure in the relationship, that you never have to question his loyalty or intentions. It is in how he defends you, how he stands up for you, even when you are not in the room. Love is not about empty promises. It is about following through. The mistake many people make is expecting men to express love in traditionally romantic ways, filled with endless words of affection. While words have their place, they are not the foundation of a man's love. His actions tell the real story. If he prioritizes you, if he includes you in his plans, if he puts effort into making your life better, that is love in its truest form. Words can be misleading, but actions never lie. To understand if a man truly loves you, stop listening to what he says and start watching what he does. Love is not about what is promised, it is about what is proven. A man's love is built on action, and that is the only language that truly matters. Words are powerful, but their true weight is not always in how loudly they are spoken. Often it is the quiet, seemingly simple words that carry the deepest meaning. Love, commitment, and loyalty are not always declared in grand speeches or dramatic proclamations. They are woven into everyday conversations, into the subtle choices of language that reveal far more than what is explicitly said. Many people search for love in extravagant gestures, expecting it to be bold and unmistakable. But real love is often found in the quiet spaces, the unspoken moments, the soft reassurances, and the words that might seem ordinary on the surface, but hold layers of meaning beneath them. A simple "take care" can mean, I want you to be safe because you matter to me. A quiet "I'm here" can mean, you are not alone and I will not leave you. These words may not seem poetic, but they are filled with intention. People often underestimate the significance of subtle words because they are looking for something more obvious. But love, trust, and respect are not about being obvious. They are about being consistent. A person who says, I believe in you, is not just giving a compliment. They are expressing faith in your potential, a confidence in who you are and who you can become. When someone tells you, I'm proud of you, it is not just encouragement. It is an acknowledgement that your efforts, your struggles, and your progress have not gone unnoticed. The mistake many people make is dismissing these words as casual or unimportant. Words reveal thought patterns, and thought patterns reveal truth. When someone truly values you, their words will reflect it naturally, without force, without performance. The way they phrase things, the way they respond in moments of difficulty, and the way they offer reassurance in the smallest ways, these are the signs that tell you what their heart truly holds. There is a difference between words that are spoken out of obligation and words that are spoken out of genuine care. A man who truly loves does not need to over-explain his feelings. His language will naturally reflect them. He will say we instead of I because he sees you as part of his life. He will say stay because he does not want to lose you. He will say safe because he wants you to feel protected, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally. These are not just words. They are reflections of deep emotions that are difficult to express directly. Understanding love is about listening to these subtleties. Not just hearing the words, but recognizing the meaning behind them. Love does not always arrive with fireworks and grand statements. Sometimes it is found in the smallest phrases, the quiet reassurances, the way someone speaks to you when no one is watching. Those are the words that truly matter, and when you learn to recognize them, you will never again mistake performance for truth. Love is not just an emotion, it is a foundation. It is not something that comes and goes with the changing winds of passion or excitement. True love is built on stability, on the deep-rooted sense of trust, responsibility, and unwavering commitment that holds two people together even when life becomes difficult. Without stability, love remains fragile, easily broken by the slightest challenge. But when love is grounded in something solid, it becomes unshakable. Many people mistake love for a constant rush of excitement, believing that if the intensity fades, the love is gone. But real love is not about fleeting highs, it is about something deeper. It is about knowing that no matter what happens, you have someone you can rely on, someone who will not abandon you at the first sign of difficulty. The stability in love means showing up not just on the good days, but on the days when everything feels like it is falling apart. Love that lacks stability is unreliable. It is the kind that makes you question where you stand, that fills your mind with uncertainty and doubt. But when love is built on stability, there is no need for constant reassurance. You do not have to wonder if someone will be there for you tomorrow because their actions have already proven that they will be. Their words align with their behavior, and their promises are not empty, they are commitments. A person who truly loves does not create chaos in your life. They do not make you feel like you are walking on unstable ground, unsure of when everything might collapse. Instead, they provide security, not by controlling you, but by being a steady force that you can depend on. Love is not about perfection. It is about the willingness to work through imperfections together. Stability does not mean never facing problems. It means choosing to face them together rather than running away. The strongest relationships are not those that never experience hardship, but those that remain intact despite it. Stability in love means understanding that emotions may fluctuate, but commitment does not. It means choosing to build something real, something that lasts, rather than constantly chasing the temporary thrill of newness. Love is not just about feeling good in the moment, it is about building something worth holding on to. A stable love is a love that allows you to grow. It does not hold you back. It strengthens you. It gives you the confidence to be yourself, to take risks, to become better, because you know you have a foundation to stand on. It is not about clinging to each other out of fear, but about standing side by side, knowing that whatever comes, you will face it together. Stability is not just a part of love, it is what makes love real. The way a man speaks is a direct reflection of who he is and what he values. Words are not just sounds, they are the windows into a person's mind, into their priorities, their beliefs, and their intentions. A man who truly respects, cherishes, and commits to something will reveal it in the way he communicates. It is not just about what he says, but how he says it, how consistently he speaks with integrity, and whether his words align with his actions. When a man values honesty, his words will reflect truth. He will not manipulate or deceive, nor will he say things just to please people in the moment. He will speak with clarity, even when the truth is difficult. A man who values respect will never use words to tear others down, to control, or to demean. Instead, he will choose words that uplift, that express understanding, that show a willingness to listen and grow. Love and commitment are also reflected in language. A man who sees you as an important part of his life will naturally begin to speak in a way that includes you in his future. He will use words like we instead of I, because in his mind, you are already part of the journey. He will say things that communicate care, not in exaggerated romantic statements, but in everyday phrases that show he is thinking about your well-being. When he says take care, it means more than just words. It is a quiet expression of his concern. When he tells you, I'm here, he is not just making a statement, he is making a promise. But words alone are not enough. A man's values are not proven by what he says once or twice, but by the patterns in his speech over time. If he constantly speaks about responsibility yet avoids it in his actions, his words mean nothing. If he claims to value loyalty yet his language is full of excuses and half-truths, he does not truly believe in what he says. Real values are consistent, and so is the language of a man who genuinely lives by them. A man who values love will not speak in ways that create insecurity. He will not use words as weapons to manipulate or control. Instead, he will use them to build a foundation of trust, to reassure without being asked, to communicate in a way that makes you feel safe, not uncertain. When he loves, he does not just say it, he shows it in how he speaks, how he expresses commitment, and how he treats the people he claims to care about. If you want to understand a man, listen closely to his words, not just in the moments when he is trying to impress, but in everyday life when he is unfiltered and unguarded. A man's language will always tell you what he truly values. You just have to be willing to listen. Words can be deceptive when taken in isolation. A single sweet phrase, a moment of vulnerability, or an instance of kindness can create an illusion of depth that may not actually exist. But if you truly want to understand someone, who they are, what they value, and what their intentions are, you must listen to the patterns, not just the individual moments. A person's real character is not revealed in a single conversation or a temporary display of affection. It is revealed in the consistency of their words and actions over time. Many people make the mistake of holding on to one special moment, convincing themselves that it defines a person entirely. A single expression of love does not mean someone is deeply committed. A one-time apology does not mean someone has changed. A beautiful promise does not mean it will be kept. What matters is whether these things are repeated, whether they form a pattern that reflects something genuine rather than a fleeting emotion. True love, true integrity, true commitment, they are not proven in grand gestures, but in the small, repeated acts that form a steady rhythm. If someone truly cares, they will not just say it once, they will show it consistently. If someone values respect, it will not only appear when it is convenient, it will be woven into their daily interactions. If someone is honest, their truthfulness will not depend on circumstance, but will remain steady regardless of the situation. Patterns tell the real story. If a person says they will always be there for you, but disappears the moment things become difficult, the pattern contradicts the promise. If they apologize for their mistakes, but keep making the same choices, the pattern shows that their words hold no weight. If they speak about ambition and growth, but never take real action, their pattern proves that they are stuck in comfort, not in progress. This applies to love, friendship, and every aspect of life. Do not let a single moment of kindness erase a pattern of neglect. Do not let one expression of affection overshadow a pattern of emotional distance. Do not let a brief spark of inspiration make you ignore a pattern of complacency. The truth is always found in the long term, in the repetition of behaviors, in the way someone acts when they have nothing to gain. If you want to know who someone truly is, do not be fooled by isolated moments. Watch what they do repeatedly. Listen to what they say consistently. Patterns never lie.